Zerglings, aim for the tanks and the Marauders. He sent them forward, which, I mean, I guess the best thing he can do is hope to take out the Zerglings, but I don't even think he gets all of those. So I'm going to get some more Mutalisks if I can. Just continue to pound on him as best I can. He didn't leave a whole lot of base defense, and he doesn't have a lot of turrets yet. So I'm going to take out this barracks, try to open up the front. That way I can always get units in if I need to, any sort of ground units. I'm getting a couple of Banelings, because if he's going for Marines, the Banelings are going to do real well against them. So I do see in the bottom left corner, you'll see that turret there, and I'm going to take those SCVs out, build those turrets, but not necessarily take them out yet, take the turrets out. I'm not particularly worried about it. There's that other one going in. I'm going to go try to blow up that reactor he's got, take out his reinforced supplies, and as you can see, I got more Mutalisks coming in. He does have a couple of Vikings, and while they do very well against air, they're not going to take everything out before I can't blow them up. So there goes one Viking, and the second one. The great thing about Mutalisks, people don't spread their Vikings apart. I'm going to blow them both up. So right now I'm just trying to hinder him as much as possible. I'm going to go in and get some harassing on the SCVs he has. I don't have a ton of units in here yet, but I do have 3 Mutalisks still, and I'm gonna rush him real soon here with some Zergling action. So I did get that expansion there down at the bottom, and I'm going to use that. And I pulled all the drones off because I got quite a few minerals. I really need the gas, and I figure, heck, I can get a couple more units out of that. So I did build that third hatchery you can see at the base, and he's going to have to end up dropping those Vikings down to try to kill off those Zerglings, and that's going to be a perfect time for me to bring the Mutalisks in and pick out the Vikings he has left. So here he goes dropping the Vikings down. That's something I kind of expected there, and here come the Mutalisks in to take him out best he can. So he lost or took a lot of damage on those units. I'm going to go in and try to take out all his SCVs with my Zerglings, and he's not doing a real good job of attacking back, but I don't think he would have gotten most of the Zerglings anyway. Did manage to take that out. However, I am getting more units now, and I have this expansion, so I'm going to get a couple of Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawler there, so he can't really rush in with anything. He's lost almost, if not all, of his SCVs, and I am continuing to pump out units. So I get some Hydralisks and Roaches. He's got that expansion, which is something I'm saying, hey, okay, he's got the expansion, I'm going to watch for that. But I'm getting a lot of defense at that secondary structure, and I do have the original mining and my secondary mining. It's been a long week. So, heading down there, I'm going to kill off the SCVs that he has. He does have almost nothing left, and I've got quite the massive units here, so, or quite the massive defenses. I really am going to need to get that gas in the future, but at this point it's not crucial for me to get it. And so I got the second hatchery there to help me pump out units faster. With that extra minerals, it's going to be totally possible to do that. So unfortunately, I don't have enough really to defend a huge attack. So if he were to attack that, it wouldn't be really well defended. But I'm not particularly worried about it. He's going to be in defensive mode after losing almost all his stuff like that. So here's the Roach Warren again. And I got those scouts, and you'll notice they're still out there. I'm going to check for additional expansions, because every once in a while he'll do the same kind of thing that I do, which is to run in and get as much... run in and get an additional hatchery or command center. So I've got a couple of Hydralisks, and he is sending some units in. I'm going to get all my units back if I can. And I'm losing quite a few Overlords here, which is not a great thing, but what can you do? So I'm sending my Hydras and my Queens in, and I'm going to pick off what I can. I'm also sending some drones in to just absorb some damage. I know they're going to die, but I'm not really worried about it. So he got a little too close, and those Queens are just going to tank that damage pretty well. It's going to let me to take all the units out that he has there. While it's not a really optimal strategy, I did manage to get some of these units in behind, so I'm going to stop that guy there, get that other Queen back there, and start pumping out some more units. Now that I actually have the minerals and the things to do it, I do need the Overlords, of course, but I did manage to get a couple of those out. So I sent my units in there to kind of to hit him with those Banelings and Zerglings, and I probably blew up a lot of the stuff he had, which it looks like I did. And that's going to hinder him pretty bad. He still doesn't know about this expansion, and I don't have any drones on my gas there, so, I mean, what's the big deal, right? There we go, putting some of those drones on gas. So, got a few more Hydralisks now, and I'm going to end up getting a couple more on top of that as soon as the minerals start to trickle in. The smarter thing to do at this point would have really been to get those drones on that mineral there. As you can see, I'm burning my minerals down really quick, so spending a couple of the minerals that I had on Hydralisks and Roaches, maybe to get 8 or 10 more drones instead of those 3 or 4 Hydralisks that are there. So going to put those roaches up front. They're going to suck up a lot of the damage there. The Hydralisk will have that increased range as soon as I get the upgrade. So getting a couple of units here, I figure I'll sneak in the back. If he ends up attacking me, I'll just send my units in the back. We'll see if he ends up doing that, though. So I've got the Overseer. I'm going to go do a scout real quick. Probably drop a changeling before or after with him, just to make sure he didn't lift off command center and fly it off anywhere. You can see I'm getting quite the formidable army there. And he doesn't have anything up there that I can see. That Overseer is just about to get to the top, and there's that other extractor. Still no drones on the minerals there. I'm getting the gas pretty well, but I guess there's not that many minerals anyway, so it's not going to do a whole lot. Getting that infestor pit, and I've got a lot more units popping out. I do see, okay, here he comes. So I want him to just be able to get a couple units up there, but you can see he's only got one medevac and a large number of marines, which are just going to get chewed up by those Hydralisks, which is exactly what happens. He gets those chewed up, and the medevac ends up dying. And now I'm going to go at him, and I've got a pretty good group there to do that. And as you can see, I'm just pumping out a ton of units as fast as I can to try to get in there, and I accidentally grabbed that Overseer, but that's not a huge deal. So don't think he's going to have any banshees, but you know, what can you do? So coming in now, going to go ahead and try to pick off all of his miners as fast as I can. So you can see he's got quite a few marines, but there's no medevacs and marauders, you know, to heal or to tank any damage. So I'm going to pick off that command center and just ignore those marines up there. They're not bugging me too bad, and I'm going to try to pick off every one of these SCVs if I can, which I do manage to do all except for one of those, and that'll end the game. So on to game 7.